There are a number of different fees and costs involved with eToro. Some of these fees can be quite confusing and may not be obvious, so this video is to explain them as best as I can. Some of these sections and fees can get a little complicated, so you may find that you may have to come back and re-watch this video to understand exactly where these fees are applied. Firstly, I want to say, please don't be put off by these fees. Most of them are actually very small, and for the majority of retail investors like us, it's actually much cheaper than most other platforms, in my opinion. The first charge that we have on eToro is currency conversion. Now, I might have to explain that a little better. eToro is a US dollar platform. All funds on the platform are held in US dollars. Therefore, if you are, for example, in the UK and your money is in Great British pounds, then you will need to convert your pounds into US dollars. And no matter who you use to do this, there is a charge. However, eToro will do it for you. Now, this is only a currency conversion charge. So if your funds are already in US dollars, or you have another cheaper way to exchange your funds, and we'll talk more about that later, then you can send US dollars to eToro and there is no fee. So this is purely done on the exchange rate. And so, for example, if you're from the UK and you had £1,000, you will get 1,344 US dollars at today's market rate. To put this into comparison, I went onto money.co.uk at the same time, and this would have only got me 1,327 US dollars in cash at their best option, which was the post office. And to add the same 1,344 US dollars to eToro, PayPal would have charged me £1,034.04, which is an extra £34.04. So this is the first fee that you have to pay with eToro. The currency conversion fee is not huge, but it does exist. Now, the next fee that we have is called the spread. And some people get very confused by this fee and what it actually means. Some people think of the price of something in the same way as a shop. For example, the price of a stock may be shown as $10, but this does not mean that there is someone willing to buy a share at this price and also to sell a share at this price. Otherwise, they would have already exchanged their shares. The given price is an indication on the price based on the available shares. Say, for example, we have Charlie here, who has share in WES. Charlie decides he will sell if the price goes up to $10. Now, we have Dave. He is an investor and wants to buy some shares. He is willing to pay only $9.90 for a share. For this example, these are the only people in the market at this time. So we have what is technically the share price at $10 because that's the cheapest price you can buy at. And if you already own a share, you could sell it for $9.90. That difference of 10 cents is called the spread. So here's an example on eToro itself. Obviously, this is completely made up. This is not a real company, and the spread fees are actually normally much lower than this. But here's the example of you've bought this stock at the $10 that I said about, and let's imagine that there is still more that you could buy at $10. Now, the sell price is at $9.90 because that's the price that Dave is willing to pay for your stock. And you can buy more at $10. So you can see here that you're instantly at a 10 cents loss because that's the difference between the price that someone is willing to sell you a share and the price that someone is willing to buy another share off of you for. And that 10 cents loss in this particular example is what we call the spread. Now, you may think, but why is the price not the same? Well, if, for example, Charlie had 3 shares and he decided that he would sell them at 10 cents intervals, like this, and let's say there was some encouraging news and Dave decided actually he would buy any shares for $10. What happens is Dave buys this share. The price to buy then goes up to $10.10, as that's the next available share price. And Dave continues to wait for shares to be available at $10. And therefore the sell price then goes up to $10, as this is the next available price that someone is willing to buy a share for. You will find that different companies will have different rates, and this can be for a number of different reasons. Something as simple as which exchange that they're on, to whether they include fees in their spread. So you may find that some companies will have slightly larger spreads than others. eToro does have slightly larger spreads than some other platforms. However, you will find that these other platforms often may also have a flat fee on top. That is, every time you buy or sell a stock, you are charged a flat fee as well. eToro does not have a flat fee, so you only have the spread fee to consider. The next fee that you will encounter is the withdrawal fee. This is a flat fee to remove your funds from eToro. There is a flat fee at the moment of $5. The funds are then sent to the payment system that you used. So, for example, if you paid by PayPal, then your funds get returned to PayPal. If you paid by a bank, then it will be returned to your bank. Remember that your funds are in US dollars, and therefore there is a conversion charge. If you sent your funds in your home currency rather than US dollars, then eToro should convert this back for you. However, if you sent your funds in US dollars, they will be returned in US dollars. You may also find your transactions broken down in different ways. This is an account someone else has shared with me, and you can see on the 5th of January they have withdrawn a single lot of $6,530 US. Here you can see those funds from the other side and how they've appeared on the 8th of January, just 3 days later. They are 4 individual transactions from 2 separate accounts, totaling £4,784.86, and this seems to be a rate of about 1.365. And based on the fact that it was only a couple of days ago, it seems like a good rate compared to many other options. So those are the 3 fees that everyone pays. There is, however, 3 other fees that you may not know about. The first one is overnight fees. Now, normally you only incur these if you're buying an asset with leverage. This fee is normally shown here. It varies per asset and it can change. This fee is normally because you're considered to be borrowing money to make this trade. So this money is kind of like an interest payment for those funds. Sometimes you might get lucky, and if something has a lot of interest, you may find that there are refunds rather than fees for something. So this is the overnight fees for holding silver. However, if you were to go the other way and short silver, you would actually receive a refund. And although it's very small in this case, it is a refund nonetheless. You should also be aware that holding something with a fee or even with a refund for a significant time, that fee could go higher, or a refund could also turn into a fee. This is not a locked price that you buy in at, so be aware that it can change. The second fee that you may not have thought of is dividends. Now, dividends are normally paid to you when you own a stock. However, if you short a stock, then that dividend payment now becomes a fee instead. I've mentioned shorting a few times, so I just wanted to make clear, on eToro and investing in general, you should not consider sell to be what you do when you want to sell something that you own. If you've bought a stock and you just decided that the price is right and you should close your position. The reason that I say this is because sell, which is also referred to as short, is when you go to the market empty-handed and you sell an IOU note for something that you do not own, with the intention that it will go down in value and you can buy it back at a lower price. This is very important because the sell button on eToro does this. It does not close your position, but it opens a short position. Now, if this does still not make sense to you, it is better to go on to the eToro community group on Facebook. The link is in the description below, and ask there, where people will be able to help you. Another tip is that you can also close just part of a trade to take some of the profits rather than closing the whole thing by ticking this close only part of the trade tick box here. This only appears from this screen, so you won't always get this option. Click the close only part of trade and then close the amount that you want. Now, this final fee is one that actually not a lot of people know about or understand, and this is quite confusing, so you may need to watch this a couple of times or even come back to it at a later time. On eToro, your money is in US dollars, so when you buy US stocks, there is no conversion or exchange. However, let's say you buy $1,344 of a UK stock that is listed in Great British Pounds. Let's say the stock is valued at £10 a share. So when you buy the stocks, you buy the number of shares that you can buy with your funds. So the reason that I've used $1,344 is because we know that this equates to £1,000 on eToro at this time. So this would buy you 100 shares of this company. Now, to an extent, on eToro, this conversion is slightly irrelevant, and unless you plan to keep your stocks and transfer them to another platform, this conversion may not make any difference. However, the next part is very important. So once purchased, eToro locks your exchange rate on the purchase of the stock. So eToro will show me as having $1,344 of this stock. Now, let's say that the Great British Pound suddenly jumps up in value, and the exchange rate goes up so that £1,000 will now buy you $2,000. Well, our stock is still worth $1,344, even though it is £1,000 worth of stock. However, this also works in reverse. So if the Great British Pound suddenly dropped to £1 being $1, so our £1,000 worth of stock on eToro would still be worth $1,344 to us on our account. This does not, however, apply to your gains. Therefore, in this example, if the stock doubled in value, at the same rate we would have doubled our money as you would expect, and we would have $1,344 in profit, giving us a total of $2,688. However, if the Great British Pound went up in value to the 2 for 1, we would have $3,344, and if it dropped down to 1 for 1, we would have $2,344. Now, this is very extreme and unlikely currency movements over a short period of time, and it's also rare for a stock to grow 100%, but I've used these simple numbers just to make it easier to understand. I also mentioned earlier about other ways of converting your funds, and I'll have another video on this soon. However, you may like to check out the banking app Revolt. At the time of filming, I have not yet used this myself, but I understand they do offer a better exchange rate than eToro. If you do want to do this, please do your own research and by all means ask on the eToro community for help on how to do this. Now, a lot of what I've said may sound very complicated, but really it isn't. You will find that all platforms have fees, and very few of them are clear on these different fees charged. eToro is one of the few platforms, in my opinion, that is clear on the fees charged. Now, if you're not already on eToro, please do use my referral link in the description below because it will help to support this channel. If you are already on eToro, then please check out my profile. My name is Wayne Wes. I hope you've liked this video. I post regular videos on the stock market, so make sure to subscribe if you want to see more content, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.